On today's edition of That Business Show 2.0, I want to talk to you about using Hootsuite and some of the applications associated with Hootsuite to market whatever product that you are utilizing in a quick and convenient fashion. This is an excellent tool for somebody like myself and for use with my podcast. And if you follow my Twitter feed, you'll see that I'm sending out a tweet sometimes every 10 minutes, every 20 minutes. And what I'm doing is I'm marketing all the past shows. And that may look like a lot of work, but it's something that I can easily whip up in 5 minutes and run, a whole month's worth of shows over the course of 1, 2, 3 days, however long of space that I want to put between the posts. So I want to show you how I do that, and you can derive whatever it is that you're marketing for your own business based on some of the information that I'm going to show you here on today's program. So first off, if you're not familiar with Hootsuite, go to hootsuite.com. It is a social media program that will auto post whatever it is that you want to post onto one of the social media platforms whenever it is that you want. So when you come over here to the website, what you do is you hit come on to scheduled, and then you can see what posts I currently have scheduled. And if I want to then schedule some new messages, then I come over here to my bulk composer, and then I would upload a particular file. So let's talk about the file that needs to be created first of all. So let's look at how I do this show. And for anybody who does any type of lots of content, podcasting, or real estate listings, I've even used this to market real estate listings by throwing up different links. And so this is applicable in a number of different ways. Let's look over here at this spreadsheet here, for instance. This down here at the bottom, you will see says March 2017 audio. And I've got all the different audios. And this starts from just 2.0. It doesn't have, right now I'm not marketing the old radio show programs because it was a different format, but I can easily set up the spreadsheets to market the old radio show programs that I did. So what I do over here, and this is based off of this spreadsheet that I keep over here. This is every month and every person that has ever been on the program. And so when the guests come onto the program, I collect all the different information on here, and then I put on there the show links, both the audios and the videos, the abouts. I also log some keywords that are associated with the shows, and also keyword phrases. That's actually used in the SEO of the different pages that I create for the different sites. But what this does is at the end of the month, it allows me to easily copy and paste these columns and create another spreadsheet that I can then use to easily mass tweet or put on other social media networks. I don't recommend mass posting on the other social media networks. Twitter is one of those social media networks. The more you post, the more followers that you get. If you do it on Facebook or LinkedIn, it can be counterproductive. Really, it's all what your audience and your community wants from you and how the page is designed up and what they expect from you. But this is mostly geared towards Twitter. So coming over here to the March 2017 audio page, what I do over here is I'm designing a simple post. So I will start here with column D, and I'll put just listen to. And then in the next column, the name of the show. And then I type in the word with, and then the tweet, the person's symbol for Twitter goes right there, because that's where ultimately your engagement is going to come from early on in a show, or whatever it is that you're doing is going to be with the person that participated in the program. And then I throw on another little tag message here at the end, and this can be whatever that you want, and I just put down here and subscribe on at iTunes. And in the far column over here, I put in a hashtag that is related to the program. And so here I've got listen to this program with the person that was on the program, another message, a call to action, and then a hashtag. And then to combine all of this here is what this is right there. And the formula to combine multiple cells inside of inside Excel is to put the equal sign, and then the sign, the column that you want, end sign, quotation marks, space, quotation marks, and then the next column that you want. And so do that over and over again, and what that's doing is it's putting in the column, the quotation mark, space, quotation mark, puts a space in between the columns, and then your next column. And so then you combine the multiple columns over here into one cell. And that's what you're going to need to submit over to Hootsuite. So again, column, the end sign, quotation mark, space, quotation mark, the end sign again, and then the cell, and then you can combine the multiple cells. It's an easy formula. Just Google it if that wasn't clear inside of Google. Just combining cells into one cell is what I am doing, and that's how I get the message that I'm going to post. So as you can see here on the spreadsheet, the post comes together, and then to submit to Hootsuite, you need a Excel spreadsheet that is 3 columns. You need in the far left the time of the post. That's going to be a date and a time. Column B is going to be the actual message, and then column C is the URL. So you can have 3 columns. The URL then comes from over here on my spreadsheet. I have the audio links, and I can just copy and paste this entire link, just like I can copy and paste down any of these cells over here and create these. And the good thing is, once this is created, it's usable over and over again. The only thing I've got to change each and every time that I use this is this. Over here on the far left is the time of the posting. And so I can post this on Twitter or Hootsuite at any time of the day, or any time that I want. So for instance, today is August 3rd. So let's say, and I think I may got these running, but let's say I want to post this on August 6th, starting at 10 o'clock in the morning. So I put in 08/06/2017, 10 a.m., then 08/06/2017. Let's say I want to post them every 20 minutes. And so I've got 10 minutes, and then I've got 10:20. And so in Excel, if you highlight the how you want the time to the spacing that you want like that, and then drag down this right here like such, it copy and pastes the cells all the way down. And so you have now a spreadsheet that is ready to be uploaded. And the only thing I may change over time are these hashtags. And by changing this hashtag over here to whatever, it's going to update the other space over here, but it didn't on this one because this one doesn't have the formula. I had copied and pasted this off of another spreadsheet. But if you keep the spreadsheet with the formula, then that spreadsheet will update with the new hashtags. And so now to go over here, you download this as a CSV file, and there it is right there in my downloads folder. And then I can simply put that on into Hootsuite by coming over to here, selecting the file from my downloads, and then Twitter post March, put that in there, and then what social networks that I want it to go to, put that there, and then review the messages. And the nice thing about this is, once you've done this once, and Twitter has the 140 character links or 140 characters restriction, that's already taken care of. You can see right here, messages are ready to go. What I like to do also is by clicking on the box over here, I can take all of the different show cards for each of the shows and just quickly drag and drop these into each of the links right here, and then go down to the next one. Or you may just put your logo or whatever, but you can add other things over here. And also what you can do is then over here, you can add the emojis. And so right here, for instance, I may like to draw attention to the link by adding in the different arrows or something. There's the links on here for arrows that point to different things. But you can add the emojis right here on inside of Hootsuite. And then you can schedule the posts, and then the posts will go over to Hootsuite on that particular day. And right there, I just scheduled some messages. Hopefully it goes through. Yesterday was giving me a bit of a problem on the posting of the messages. But yeah, right there, you're all done. Those messages are going to fire on August 6th, and that took me just a couple of minutes, and that's with the explanation. And so at the end of each month, based off of my contact checklist, I take each of the audio shows and I put it in one of the columns. I take each of their Twitters that I have and I put it in the corresponding adjacent columns. And then I, craft the different message that I want. And I've got post after post after post that all I've got to do is update the column over here on the far left for the time, and I can drop in, days worth of posts in a matter of 5 minutes. And again, I've done this with real estate listings, and I've done this with shows, and whatever it is that you want to post over and over again, you can do so. The only thing that you need to do is you can't post duplicate messages, but you can easily change duplicate messages by changing the hashtag. The hashtag at the end of each of your messages is actually what is going to gain you followers too, and I'll talk more about that in the next segment and show you this excellent tool that has increased my Twitter following by over 200% in the last couple of months. But by using multiple hashtags and multiple posts, that's how you grow on Twitter. You follow people that are following hashtags or that you want to be associated with. In business, it's very easy. For instance, if you do a tweet right now and you put hashtag entrepreneur, you're probably going to get at least 5 new followers immediately, because there are programs that are following these hashtags, and when you use those hashtags, they automatically follow you. Now, you have to follow them back, or oftentimes the program will unfollow you. And so this is something I'll go into in this next segment and talk to you about how people are growing massive Twitter followings. You can be lucky and be a celebrity and get a massive Twitter following just because of who you are. But if you're someone fairly unknown in the community, and growing a Twitter following can be difficult. But I have went from just about 1,000 Twitter followings 5 months ago to over around 8,000 now or so in just a matter of a couple months. And it's not buying Twitter followers, it's none of that stuff. It's all based on following the hashtags, following people back, and doing a lot of posts with different hashtags. So you're tapping in to these different communities. So I'll show you how I do that in the next segment. Also want to talk to you about Hootlet, another add-on to Hootsuite, which allows you to grab parts of the internet or whatever page that you're on and automatically schedule it for a social media post. So I'll go into that when I come back from the break on That Business Show 2.0 with your host, Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Welcome back to the program. On today's show, I'm teaching you how to use Hootsuite to easily post, social media posts onto whatever social media network that you want to do in bulk. And it's very simple. And I think a lot of people are familiar with Hootsuite, but as I just showed you there with the use of a couple of spreadsheets, you can post over and over again very simply and keep up people up to date with your real estate listings if you're a realtor, with your shows if you're a podcaster, or whatever industry that you're in, whatever message that you're trying to disseminate, by simply changing the hashtags, and you'll be reaching a whole nother audience. And I'll talk more about that here in just a moment. But I wanted to talk to you a moment about Hootlet, which is an add-in here that I've recently discovered that really makes some of these social media posts even easier. So after I do a program or after I record a show, on the weekend I do the pre-show marketing for the show. And one of the things I do is I go into Facebook and I create an event. So as you can see here on the screen, I got an upcoming show that's scheduled. And you'll see here in the middle of the page, Hootlet. So after I've already got this all posted, and I think most people are familiar with how to add an event to their Facebook page. I'm not going to cover that on this, but this assumes that you already know how to add an event on Facebook. And you add Hootlet. So to first off do this, type in Hootlet into a search engine, add it to Google. I always use Google Chrome for this. I don't know if it works with the other the search or other explorers, but I think it does. But this is an extension that you would add into Google. And then by clicking this, what it does is it's going to recognize what's on this page, and you're going to craft a message and then send it over to the different social media outlets. And so right now it's saying what I want to say about this. I can click on this, and it's trying to pull a link here. I like to close those out there and then add a picture right there. And then I can tell it to go to whatever social media outlet that I want. I can add another link in there. And then I can choose to auto schedule it, which means it'll throw it up there in my Hootsuite whenever, or I can tell it to post later. And let's see, for instance, this is tomorrow's show. And right now that's going to go to all these different sites there. And if I want this to be posted at some time tomorrow, as you can see, it brings up the calendar. I tell it what time to go, and it'll post it. I'm not going to post this because it's not in line with my typical post, but as you can see, it's that simple. And you can do this on any page too. So whatever page that you're on, the Hootlet application will pop up, and you can share that across the different social media sites. And you can also have it schedule for you simply by using the auto schedule feature. Now, I will caution a bit against the auto schedule feature. It will auto schedule at any time in the next 30 days, multiple times. So I type in the message here, and then I hit auto schedule. It's going to pick a time for me, and it's going to put it inside my schedule messages. I don't like it for my application because I found out it makes no reference to the event date, which I assumed it did. So it'll put, for instance, an event after the scheduled date. So, but if it's a message that is not time dependent, rack it up right there using the auto schedule feature. You can X that out right there, and then you can come back in here and add something else by clicking on the plus button and then adding in the attachment right over there. So anyways, Hootlet right there, a great little add-in for Google Chrome. Just type that into Google, add the extension. It just takes just a moment, and you can add stuff from anywhere on the internet through your Hootsuite program. Now I want to talk a little bit about Twitter. Now, as you can see here, here's my Twitter. And I'm coming up on 8,000 followers, and Twitter was a slow growth for me until I discovered this program over here, Social Quant. And so this is a program that was created by a local Tampa-based entrepreneur, Michael Kawula, and I'm actually trying to get him on my program to talk about this program here. But this program is a simple program. I think it's like $20 a month. And what you do is you give the profile that after you pay the fee or whatever, and it'll even give you a 14-day free trial. So I did the 14-day free trial and picked up like 300 or 400 new followers immediately, and I was hooked on it. And so what you do is you go into the program, and then underneath the keywords there, underneath all keywords, you can then tell it what keywords that you want to follow. And so depending on whatever it is that you want to be associated with, those are the keywords right there that I am trying to convert followers from. So what they're doing is they are going in there and finding people that are using those hashtags, following them for me, and if they don't follow, then I unfollow them, and it's all done strictly by the program. And so I think a lot of people, and this mystified me in the beginning of Twitter, I would gain a bunch of followers, and then I would lose a bunch of followers, and I couldn't understand it. What's happening is people are running Twitter programs. Twitter is a marketer's dream. It's an automator's dream. It's something that's very easy to automate, and you can really build a lot of community. And there is a lot of action on Twitter. And this is not buying followers. It's not any of the nefarious black hat type of stuff that people are associated with. This is legitimate stuff where you're following people. You're just getting a program to do it for you. You could do this for free by sitting in front of your computer, going to the hashtag business feed and following the people that are on the feed, but obviously that would take you time. And so these are legitimate people on Twitter that have legitimate interests and are posting legitimate things in line with whatever it is that your business is posting as well. And it'll tell you over there which keywords that they recommend that you use. And you should come in here and freshen the keywords up from time to time. If you go over here to your dashboard, it'll show you which keywords are converting well and which keywords are not converting well. As you can see, best converting keyword for me all time has been marketing. I've picked up 320 followers just by using hashtag marketing and whatever message that I'm using. Hashtag content marketing has been good. Worst converting keywords, productivity hasn't been doing too well for me in the last 7 days. SEO hasn't been doing too good for me. But these are something that you got to come into the program and just delete some of the ones that aren't working and add new keywords. And from that is how you grow your followers. So you can see the growth in my Twitter starting back about 5 months ago all the way up here to where it is now. And I'm just approaching around 8,000. And this also comes from my own posts that I'm doing, because all the Twitter posts that I'm doing and the hashtags that I'm throwing in there, people are following those hashtags, and that's giving me additional growth as well. And so as you can see over here, 7,900 Twitter followers, and I'm following 6,100. And this right here is an interesting way to determine if somebody is an influencer or if somebody is buying followers. And if you look, or using a program, I should say, buying followers is another way to gain Twitter following, but that's not the program that I'm using or what I'm talking about right here. If somebody has, people that are running these programs like I'm doing should have very similar followers to Twitter's, or to the people that are following them, to the followers that they have. If they are an influencer, then there's going to be a huge degree of separation between the number of followers that they have versus the people they are following, meaning they have a lot more followers than the people that are following. But for these programs to work effectively, if somebody follows you based on a hashtag and you don't follow them back, the program is going to go and unfollow you, because part of the Twitter algorithm, it looks poorly upon people that are following more people than are following them. And so to be an effective use of Twitter, you want to have more followers than are following you, but they are still going to be fairly one and the same. And in this situation, it's 6,100 to 7,900. I mean, that's kind of similar in my opinion when you're talking about Twitter. But that's how you can also tell if somebody is an influencer, if they have a lot of followers and not following a lot of people. That's the trend of a lot of celebrities, politicians, the president, for instance. But nonetheless, that's how you want to grow your Twitter following. You can do it manually. Follow the different hashtags. You can do hashtag entrepreneur right now and pick up a number of different followers. Usually get about 5 or 6 right away from that. Hashtag business. Use other hashtags that are associated with your competition. For instance, Entrepreneur on Fire uses hashtag EOFire. So I throw that hashtag in there from time to time to grab attention of people that are following the Entrepreneur on Fire program. And so whatever people are in your industry that are influencers, and you're trying to become an influencer or try to pick off some of their audience as well, find out what hashtags they are using. There are also Twitter programs out there that will pull the entire following of somebody's Twitter handle. And so if you're trying to cater to a specific audience, get the Twitter program. It costs like $20. It'll say this is all the followers for this particular person, and then do tweets and then tag them in the tweets, and you'll pick up followers that way as well. Just another trick that I use to get my shows out there, as I pull off the competitors' Twitter followers and I tag them in my social media messages, and that way they can say, oh, here's another podcast about business, and I assume that they like the podcast or the whatever it is my competitor is doing if they're following the person. So just some of the inside social media tricks to help grow your business and your influence. Again, highly recommend that you take advantage of Twitter. Build this up as best as you can. The goal to really become noticed on Twitter, you really need to get up of over 100,000 or more followers. That's where you really do become like a serious tweeter, in my opinion, because there's lots of people with thousands of followers. But when you get up above like 100,000, then you really become a player in the Twitter game, and a lot of activity on Twitter. So don't discount Twitter just because of your preconceived biases against it. And also take advantage of LinkedIn and Facebook marketing as well. But I think Twitter is a great tool to build up influence. And so again, take advantage of that. Use Hootsuite, use Hootlit, and Social Quant. Those are the 3 programs that I'm using here, along with a simple Excel spreadsheet to do all of this posting. So again, new programs air each weekday morning on thatbusinessnetwork.com at 9 a.m. and they're made available on demand on iTunes and on YouTube. Please subscribe to us, leave a message, leave a review. It helps the program grow, and please share the show with your friends. We're always looking for content for the program too. tbsinterview.com for more information on how to become a guest on our program. And Thursdays we air the real estate edition of the program, which is my specialty, selling properties in Tampa Bay, tampabayreo.com, with new episodes Thursday mornings at 9 a.m. Also on thatbusinessnetwork.com. I hope everybody has a great day. And again, thanks for tuning in to That Business Show 2.0.